world is look up to the top. Developing student technology. He brought with him what's known as the international style of architecture, which is defined by rejecting all non-eccentric ornamentation. Nice's philosophy was less international style buildings. Ironically, Bertrand Goldberg, architect of the City Towers, they called them the corncob buildings. Goldberg was a student of Amber's. He clearly rejected the international style. So there shouldn't be any writings in architecture. A lot of people are very curious as to how these buildings are constructed. And they really are pie-shaped. The narrowest part is where you enter the unit, the widest part is the balcony. One piece of pie is a studio, 1.5 pieces of pie is a one-bedroom, windows, and for very interesting interior design choices. Now, it was completed in 1967. In the 60s, people were moving from the city to the suburbs. So they had an idea for a city within a city. Marina City Council a few years ago when someone accidentally skated over the edge. On the left-hand side of the boat, we've got this building, the Arch, River Point, completed in 2017. The architects are Picard and Chilton. Then also on the left-hand side, we've got this white building, the residences at River Bend, completed in the early 2000s. The architects of a step-up storage facility. I want you to imagine a windowless red brick box. The walls were stuffed. Adler Planetarium, the Field Museum. The architecture started to oversaw the renovation is Harry Weeks. And see and Soldier Field. That's where the Chicago Bears currently play. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now we're going to be turning onto the south branch of the Chicago River. And one thing about all these buildings on the right side of the boat, in the direction of train, in 1893, where yoga made a trivia. In 1893, in addition to hosting the World's Fair, we also hosted the very first Parliament things. They go all the way up the side of the building. And they're called I-beams, and they're made of the steel from Luxembourg. So we've got the I-beams. We've got that limestone facade, strong vertical lines that draw your eye up, setbacks, and geometric ornamentation. It's also home to the very first, this whole neighborhood is called the West Loop. And it's one of the hottest neighborhoods in Chicago. The top layer is a protective coat. All you're going to find in the West Loop then is gym joints, flop houses, and broken. The lead architect, Dr. Bosler Kahn, is a structural engineer. And again, he's considered to be the Albert Einstein of structural pieces. Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill are the architects. Bruce Graham is lead obstructed views. So there's no load-bearing walls, there's no support beams. See that X-brace in the side? No much confidence. Now, what I didn't want to try about is being comfortable with it. The tallest building in the city of Chicago. Third tallest building. I mean, either way, my heart will go on. It's called the Willis Tower. That is the official name of the building. In Chicago, we spell that here. The building is made with what's called bundled tubular construction. It's 9 75-foot boxes that are bundled together to allow for the height and protect from the wind. Partial damage, like broken windows. But people who work there before water just splashing away, which some people think sounds gross. I, for one, am during the day. I love the way it reflects. Now, as I mentioned, it marks the beginning of the river bed. We've got a curve in the river, we've got a few curvy lines, walk to the beginning of the river. I'm going to tell you all about the river walk in a minute. First, we're going to do the glass building. These two do like glass ones. These are 1983. The architect on the street side is one to the grill. On a later one, and it's so far and one there. So we do everything like that. There's no picking of the leadership the barrel shows help even move care about river. 70 different types of homes in the river in a 70-unit style. Now in the water, there are cloths that are blend organisms. When I work, when it rains, there's always at least one person walking on the river. Then we've got the building with the white base and stacking floors with plastic steel. 77 flat earth. Within a tower. It's home to the overnight advertising. He was already dead. Then we've got the green art deco building with play on top of the music color of the top. We're going to get lost. GPS will cuts out. And inside of the school. Now draw your focus onto the left out to be characterized with no working structure. Inspired by European cathedrals, with a couple are flying buttresses. In European cathedrals, flying buttresses are low there. Tribune Tower, they are merely ornamental. The Tribune moved out from the building of the Wrigley Building. The real name is St. Regis of Chicago. Roll to the window road. Now, we have this box sort of the window. The AM center sells the building. So we went down and built the box. Started the room herself because she lived in water tower place and she just didn't want to know where she lived. If you look up towards the top, there's a disc-shaped portion of the Chicago River. So every time the buildings, about 800,000 gallons. Then across the street in here, in 1960, That's what he saw us at a 30 code. And it's around 8 or 12 months.